This is going to be highly experimental again, because y'all know I love to come on and experiment. It's the masculine in my chart. Let's see if I can find myself. I don't even know if I'm live right now. I can barely see because this light is like right in my face. Chat's going to be super tiny, so I'm pulling it up on my computer right now so I can at least read this. I'm a little nervous for some reason. I don't know why. It's interesting. And then I'll just pop this out. Pop out the chat. Ew, why am I so nervous? I don't like that. But yeah, today there's the yawn, obligatory yawn. And today I have this deck that I left out. Excuse me. Oh, there's that strength card again. Where's Miyoshi? I just got this for her. You see this? It's the Witch's Tarot. I'm gonna figure this out eventually. Part of me just like, I have this thing and I'm gonna use it before I leave. But actually, I'll keep this one down on the table. If no one comes in, I'll just talk to myself. So what have I been up to? Since I last came live, which was that night, I've just been in a space of procrastinating on some things, honestly, if I'm being real honest with myself. But I've also been growing in a lot of other ways. And I think I've been doing this thing where my focus is to, oh, see, Five of Wands. Y'all see that? The deck knows. Where the focus has been just kind of non-existent in the other deck, and the Wild Unknown, the Five of Wands is the card of lacking focus. The wands are all scattered. They're pointing in different directions, and it's not contentious, but I guess there are sort of like different things that have been competing for my focus, for my energy, for my attention, and there hasn't been a mistake so far, but moving forward, I do need to be a lot more clear and intent. Why is this? I'm gonna adjust this. See, I always do this when I start, and then it gets really weird and wonky. I'm wearing my comfy shirt, so it is what it is. Oops. But yeah, I know that there are some areas that I can put my focus, but I don't want to completely put my focus in one area and neglect others. I know that there's a balance that I can strike where I can do everything that I want, and I'm gonna be spending a few weeks with a friend, and he works second shift, so from 2 to 10:30 p.m. I'm gonna be focusing on doing schoolwork, right? At least for the upper majority of that. Now, if I want to do something else, let's say there's a period in time in between. Yeah, baby, working on building those pinnacles. See, this is what's like, I go live on my phone so I can actually like have a 1080p video and then you can't even see the cards. Tragic, right? If I tap the screen, does it focus? No, because why would it do that? Right? Why would it? So trust. One second. I should let me. I can keep talking while I do this. So, but then I'm not gonna be able to see those. It's fine. So I've got to be able to do that. Put my focus primarily, into my schoolwork, and then whenever I have a break, there are some spiritual things that I want to do / learn. As I've mentioned before on one of the lives, I don't know if that one is still up or down, but there are some Akashic Records readings in the Book of Maps, and I want to get into that. One second. Help me build it by telling me. You already have it. Yeah. So, what was I talking about? My Mercury is in Pisces and retrograde in the 12th house, so I can lose my train of thought real quick. I love to speak in metaphor. And I speak wisdom sometimes. I say sometimes. And I feel like I'm trying to actually come into a lot of who I am more fully. And to do that, it's almost like I have to take my foot off of the brake. I was gonna say I have to take the training wheels off, but honestly, they're not even training wheels at this point. It's just like, you know, you have one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. And, ooh, what is this? The Queen of Swords, yep. The cards just agreed. Like, yep, that's true. Oh, snap. Okay, well, Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. It's interesting. Accurate. So with the Queen of Swords, it's like, yep, accurate, true. I wish... Let's see. Maybe if I do this. Because it's a bit... See, but I want to be visible at the same time. See, because, like, if I turn this off, I disappear. But you can see the cards! Better. So I'll just turn the light down. Oof. Hey, Yoshi, what's up? I'm just on talking to myself. There we go. That's decent enough, right? That's decent enough. That's the best it's gonna get. Unless I kind of, like, point this over here. And then I turn it up a little bit. No, still don't help. How do these things work? Why does my mom even have this? Why am I using it? Let me stop complaining. How are you doing, Yoshi? So, with the cards, it's just like how the Strength girl. It's funny because Strength is the first card that actually, it was like the first card that came up. And I was like, oh, I just got that from Yoshi. So basically what I'm doing right now is, I think I titled this Use Your Discernment, or Use Discernment, period, experimental period. Because what I'm going to be doing is just like, glad to hear it. Oh, snap. Well, the Hermit just made an appearance. Le Hermite. Le Hermite. Can you see that? Maybe y'all can see that and it ain't as blurry. You have to use your discernment for the cards I'm pulling. If it fits your situation, I kind of want to get into a space where I don't filter as much. And where I just go with, like, the first thing that comes to my mind. And obviously using my own discernment, right? I'm not going to just, like, straight up do whatever. But I do want to diversify, right? I want to branch out a little bit from what I always do. Because I was thinking about it, and there are things that I do like to do. Like I've said, like I first got into the cards because of I first got into the cards for like growth and spiritual growth and like soul growth and like wanting to know who I am, right? The Wheel of Fortune is on the bottom of the deck as I put this down. It's the Wheel of the Year, so I'm going to refer to everything as it is in this deck instead of what their equivalents are. But the Wheel of the Year popped up. You can't even see it because it's that glorious. It's that blinding. There you go. The Wheel of the Year. I can just show the picture and there you go. Wheel of the Year. Popped up. Which means that this year specifically, I feel like a lot of things are turning. I was shuffling the deck, and literally, like, this is how much deck I have, right? Literally, like, half of the deck, at least a good third of the deck, fell on the floor. And the cards upright are the Shadow side and the Ace of Pentacles. So, it's interesting, because I feel like with the release of this Shadow in this year, we're building a brand new sense of self-worth. And while we start over at square one, half the deck on the ground, like, we sort of don't really know. It's like we want to know so much more of where we are and where we're going. You are so sleepy. I almost took a nap. High key. I feel it. I started by yawning. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, well. And the Magician in reverse. So like I was saying, it's like, you know, we kind of sort of want to know where we're going before we really start to manifest it and move. Or at least, like, I'm definitely in that spot. With the Two of Cups in reverse. This could have been an offer received, an offer being contemplated, or we could have been taking back cups that we've given out. Right? It's like we've given out a cup, and through the course of the turning of the wheel this year, events have come out, and some folks may have been seen wanting. Or it's like, you know, you don't necessarily align with the direction I'm going, so I wish you the best, but I'm going to have to take this cup back now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing this to make sure I have all my cards. At the top of the first 10 is the Two of Cups again. So now it's upright, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have Karma upright. Karma speaks to the completion of cycles, aka curving people left and right. Okay, yeah. And then we have Karma in reverse, right? So curving people left and right, completing karmic cycles, and also a Three of Cups third party. So it's like, who's coming to the party, who's not, right? Because it's a celebration. That's what they're celebrating. The coming of this long-awaited eclipse. And it's like, in this eclipse period, in this shadow of the sun, it's almost like, because let's say like the sun illuminates the whole world, but when the eclipse comes, there's this ring of light. And while everything else is sort of shut out, and while everything else has been shut down, there are these people in these situations that sit in the middle of the ring. And we've been in this space where we sort of decide, okay, who stays in the ring and who leaves? Who's third party, who's celebration? Because we ain't got time for third parties no more. Then the world begins to fill in again. And we want to know that the world that we're building is the one to live in. And that's what these karmic cycles being completed is sort of like telling us. Buffering. Girl. Right. Okay, well, shoot. Oh, snap, I didn't even notice this. With the eyes, me emojis in my Discord. Really? LOL. Bro, this is getting on my nerves. Okay, there it is. Wait, is it back? Because on my computer screen, it still froze. So if it buffers, girl, it buffers. I already, because whenever I use, let me refresh, actually. Oh, I shouldn't have did that. Oh, I think I'm back. Or am I buffering again? Oh, yeah, I'm back. Okay, let me pop this back out. Oh, that's still up. It's fine. Okay, all right. So, what is this? Oh, one. What's this one card? The Three of Swords. We're leaving that behind, too. And I think there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So on top of this stack is the world. Like I just said, we're deciding what world we want to build, because the world that we build is the world that we live in. And with this Three of Swords on the bottom, some of this cutting out is going to be heartbreak, or it's going to be heartbreaking, because there are people that we might not necessarily... It's not that we don't want to leave them behind, because this is a karmic cleansing and we can see where... Thank you for letting me know, by the way, Miyoshi, because I can't read my phone screen and all the text is tiny. But, wait, is this updated? Yeah, it is. Okay. So, it's like, it's not that, it's not heartbreaking in the sense that, like, we don't know that it has to be done, but it's still not necessarily comfortable, right? It's like, just because you know that some food ain't good, don't mean that you ain't sad that you already spent money on it. um, yeah, because like, we're getting to this. Like, I've seen the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune, I've already seen it. Right, it already came out. I held it up, the Wheel of the Year. I've been seeing it. It's like every time I pull out cards, that wheel is coming out, and I want to make sure that the things that are about to pick up traction are things that I want to pick up traction. It's almost like there's this gust of wind that's about to come in, and there's some trash, there's some flowering seeds. Flowering seeds. There are some flowering or seed bearing, pollen bearing, whatever, seed bearing plants, and there's like trash in the yard, right? And the wind's about to come and blow it. You don't want the wind to come and spread trash all throughout your yard, like clean up the trash while it's in a pile and easy to get. And also, you do want your plants like to be in the state where like the seeds are ready for the wind to come and pick up and spread. And so if you planted your seeds too late, the flowers aren't going to be ready to spread those seeds and to proliferate, right? Because basically, like, the good that you do, you want to proliferate. Good karma proliferates good. Bad karma proliferates trash, and you don't want trash all over the yard. And that's the building of this new world. That's the spreading of this green, making a greener earth, the likes that the folks have never seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On top of this stack, we have the Chariot, which is exactly what I was just talking about. I think my father just came home. One second, y'all. All right, I'm back. Um, so the Chariot, which is basically, it's exactly what I was just talking about. This wind is about to come through, and it's gonna push everything through. So throughout December, if you've been watching my channel, and Miyoshi, you're the only person in here, and I know you've heard me say it. But I've been saying stuff like, it's time for us to establish our own guidance, our own sense of internal guidance, because when we get the feeling and the call to move internally, we need to move, right? And we're not necessarily going to have time to go out and to get confirmation from other people and to ask. And I think that's one reason why confirmation has been so heavy, and it's been coming so quick, and it's been so heavy. Because it's like, if you get the thought, the universe almost instantly affirms it, and if you're on the right track or not. Excuse me. And I've also been saying stuff like, especially after the last, was it the new moon? The moon, between the moon and the 12/12 portal, whatever that was, when I was like, when the Gemini and the Sag came out, like, there are some people who are really going to like leap, and some people who are gonna like take a half a step forward. Some people in some situations and some things might get blown back, because it's like, in this time where you're supposed to have been planting and tending to your crop. First, like, were you planting good seeds? Second, were you tending to those good seeds? Or did you neglect them, right? Versus, were you planting bad seeds, and what did you do with those bad seeds? Everything is about to start moving, and with the star on the bottom of the deck, I think some wishes are about to be fulfilled. Or you might be put in the place to begin to fulfill your own wishes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What'd you say? We flew, right? Some people left, some people flew. And with this 8 of Cups, I think it's another reminder to like not be hey Zelda, thanks for listening in while you're at work. I hope you have a good shift. Oh, big hug. Thank you. Big hug back to you. I'm just being not silly. How do I say this? I'm trying to remove the filter today, right? So a lot of things will sort of be unorthodox for me specifically. Things that I don't necessarily typically do because I heavily filter the things that I get because I try to make it as palatable and as soft as I can. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And so I'm trying to remove that limiter, trying to just like flow. And I think I've been really heavy into my masculine side and my masculine energies. Everything has been very like structured for a minute. And I think the feminine side of my energy has sort of been neglected. Now, whenever I build a spread, that's an integration of both for me because it's like I'm using the feminine side to sort of get the information, and then the masculine side of my brain sort of like puts it in place and figures out where it goes. And so if I use it back, then it's inherently integrated because I structured it that way. But I also just feel like I haven't necessarily been, I just want to get into my feminine side a little bit more and do something that's like less structured, more flowy. You know how the girls flow sometimes. Okay. So yeah. So I think this is another reminder that, oh, and now I saw the back. The Two of Pentacles. This is like juggling energy. And I think this is us sort of between these two worlds, right? It's between the one that we just left and the one that we're going into. And you see how one is slightly above the other? So it's like on the outside, it might seem like there were a lot of minor changes or that they're almost the same. But as these wheels start to turn, like one of these is going to go up and the other one is going to go down. And I want to be on the one that's going up. Because I ain't trying to be on no kind of ship that's going down. No ship that's going down, no planet that's going down, no life that's going down, no world that's going down. Because if it's going down and you around, you might be hitting the flow and not in a good way. But yeah, so like with this 8 of Cups, I think this is a reminder that it's an understanding, right? It's like, look at the stars, look at where you're going, and leave all of the sort of cups and the worries behind. Because we all get to choose. And we can feel upset by someone else's choice, but we can't choose anything for someone else. And we also have to understand that decisions come with consequences sometimes. And as much as I care about some of the people who have come into my life, I am not in a space where I'm taking anyone else's consequence because I'm not Jesus. I ain't dying on no cross for nobody else. I'm just sorry. Like, I love you, but if you make your bed, you gotta lie in it. That's what they say. Right? Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm counting them out now because my deck fell on the ground and I want to make sure I have all my cards. So that's why I'm doing this. It's the 9 of Pentacles. This is the save yourself energy. Build yourself, save yourself, know yourself, be that boss, AB. This is the Beyonce card. That's what people call. Is this the Beyonce card? Is that what people call it? Like, look at her. She knows she bad. And she like, I worked for all of this. Thanks. And on the back of this one is the High Priestess. Oof. Some of these I did look on the back. Some of them I didn't. I do it as I feel it. This whole, like, the theme is take it as it resonates and use your discernment. And those are the two themes tonight. I need to pay it. I can't see my battery. One second, I'm just gonna plug this up. So with this Nine of Pentacles, I love how it's all like sort of connecting together. And this is another thing that I like about when it just flows, because it's like it builds its own little story bubble. Darn it, I'm not trying to take all day finding this. One moment, please. I will be with you shortly. You know what? I could just use that. See, I didn't want to, but I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just do it. One second, y'all. Y'all can stare at the back of my TV while never mind. I'm wearing pants today. Where did I literally just had this? Well, here's the brick that I need, which is excellent. Excelente, right? Y'all, I'm always a mess. So yeah, while you've been, and that's sort of the whole like focus. I think there are many things, and there goes the brick. The brick is now on the floor. There are many things that those nine pentacles could be. One of them could be wealth, right? So let's say you have a new job opportunity coming in. You have a new family member. I don't know, maybe someone's going to have a baby this year. You have a new family member. Maybe you're working on your health. So you get a few pentacles there. Let's say you work on your mental health and your physical health. So that could be another pentacle for the mental, because your mental health affects your ability to perceive and to function in your day-to-day life. So that's why it's a pentacle instead of a sword or a cup or whatever. It could be your self-worth, right? That's another thing that we should be working on, or should have been working on, because the thing with self-worth is self-worth is the side of the scale that we sit on as the world brings things into our reality, as we begin to manifest things. So think of it as justice, or the Six of Pentacles. Since we're talking about Earth, it's the Six of Pentacles, right? And so, we sit on one side of the scale with our self-worth, and then everything that comes into our reality is weighed on the other side of the scale. If something is weighed below our sense of self-worth, so this is us, this is the stuff. If it's below us, it's like we should just let it blow by, right? It should be so high that the wind just carries it and knocks it off the platform. It doesn't even come into our reality. If it's below us, or if it's too heavy for us, then this is what leads to issues of low self-esteem and low self-worth. This is when we get things that we think are too good to be true. And since we're not ready to receive them, we introduce a whole lot of toxicity into it. We act in this sort of this karmic state where we create a lot of tension and friction in an area that there doesn't necessarily need to be any. But it triggers that sense of low self-worth in us, because it's we don't feel deserving of it. And so we're supposed to be in this place where as the wheel begins to turn, regardless, the world that you build is the world that you're going to live in, right? So you're going to sit on that scale. Hopefully you've added some weight to yourself. Let's say that each pentacle is solid gold. Y'all know how heavy solid gold is, right? These are those bricks of gold. So with 9 bricks of gold, you can get some pretty heavy stuff coming in, and things can change a lot. If you ain't got no bricks, then sorry. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, right? I'm glad you with me, Miyoshi. Somebody with me. Amen. I know you in here too, Zelda. Oh, snap. Oh. 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to do is find my charger because I don't want my phone to die in the middle of this. Oh, here it is right here. Nice. Okay. I'm using the flashlight on my iPad. I don't want my phone to die in the middle of this, and there isn't a display on the Streamlabs page that lets me know where my battery is. And then if the low battery notification pops up, it's going to disrupt the video, and I'm sure there are enough disruptions. What is it? Oh, I just got a picture from a buddy. Come on. I was playing the Switch today. I haven't played the Switch in a long time. I actually haven't played a video game really in a long time. Besides the app games on my phone when I'm on the toilet. Let me stop. Okay. All right. Now everything is plugged up and I should be good. So yes, I can keep counting them out. But yeah. And I've found myself in a really good space. And I can be this. Sometimes it is a little, how did I illustrate it? This, where it's like, it's not super high. It's not high enough where I start to like question anything. But there is just a sense of like, wow, I can't believe that I'm allowed to be this happy right now. This year has been very interesting so far. January was a whirlwind and there was a lot that happened. But there are some moments that I'm extremely grateful for. Hey, Chad. How's it going? So the theme of today, just a little recap. The theme of today is, if you saw the title, it's use your discernment. And it's also, I forgot what the other theme is already. But basically I want to get a lot more into my feminine energy and my feminine side because I feel like I've been in my masculine side a lot. Yes, I am on. I was like, oh, I kind of want to show this picture that you sent me. But I won't. But yeah, there are these moments when I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm this happy. Oh, what I'm doing. So I wanted to get more into my feminine side, right? Because I feel like I've been like super structured and I just want to like pull and just go with the flow. And I also want to remove the filter because I'm building myself in some ways right now. And I want to give myself that room to grow. And I want to give my connection that room to grow. And if I hyper masculinize it, if I hyper structure it, then it's gonna limit it and put it in this little box where it can't really expand to be all that it is. So I'm just being like super intuitive right now. The filter is like off. I also want to diversify, so I'm not always doing the same thing. Like I say, I'm not a love reader. I'm not a love reader, but I want to be able to like, you know, like this will be enough to get you by until you find someone who is an actual love reader, or it'll like still resonate. You know, I just want to diversify a little bit. And I was talking about how when I built the spreads, that is an integration of the masculine and the feminine for me because I built them intuitively and then I create the structure around the message. And so every time I use those spreads, there is an innate feminine masculine blend that is my own energy because I'm creating it, right? But at the same time, I feel like my feminine side's been neglected. So that's what I'm doing today. And breathe. And right now I'm counting out 8 piles because I was shuffling and half my deck fell on the floor and I just want to make sure I have all the cards. And that's what I'm doing. Okay, nice. I can show. All right. So I grabbed my iPad, right, so I could find my cord. And then I saw I had a picture from Chad, and it was this. He bought a movie today and it came with some 3D glasses. Oh wait, the title of the movie is on the glasses, right? But they're blurry, so I can't read it. Good and sleepy. You love when the filter is off. Oof. Don't say that. You can say that. I'm not putting it back on today. It's off. And I think Zelda might be chilling in here. She said she was at work though. So maybe she's listening in. Maybe she got off. My Bloody Valentine. That's what it was. Okay. Well, happy Valentine's month. Happy birth month to the fishies, to the Feb fishies, to the amethyst fishies. I think Feb is the amethyst fishies, right? Maybe. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so for you, I will catch you up. Oh, and we sitting in this Queen of Swords energy. It's interesting. So I thought for a second that she was holding a cup as well. Right? But I guess that's just her puffy sleeve. So let's do a little recap. So for the folks who just came in, or if you're catching this, well, after the live, you would have been watching. I'm planning on leaving this one up. Everything is green and pink. The chat looks so weird. Oh, because you still have the glasses on. So to catch you up really quick, we started with the Two of Cups. First came out the Will of the Year. So I was like, either someone is receiving a cup, someone is giving a cup, or someone is taking a cup back. We're in this space of reevaluating who gets our cups. And then Karma came out. So I was like, oh, excellent. You know, with this Karma, I'm reading all of these cards as they are intended in this deck instead of reading them as their equivalents in other decks. So since Karma came out, I saw that eclipse as like this golden ring of sunlight in our lives. And we decide who stays in that ring and who leaves. Right? And so we've been given these opportunities. We've been pushed into limiting our circle. And we're supposed to do it, or the aim is to do it before the eclipse is over and the moon shifts away from the sun and the sun returns to illuminate the whole world. And then the world came out, right? Oh my gosh, this is why I love reading intuitively, because when the cards affirm it, I'm like, yes. And with this, I said, we're building the world that we're going to live in. Since December, since everyone was talking about, we're clearing a decade's worth of karma, since December, honestly, since the Mercury retrograde, because I feel like the Mercury retrograde was a whole lot of lessons. It was lesson. And we thought that the Mercury retrograde was the test. That was the pre-test. That was the study guide for the test. And throughout December, when things were like ramping up and getting crazy, and even this month, or last month now, in January, there was a lot of clarity that came out on some things that we wanted to see, some things we didn't want to see. And it's like throughout that process of tests, clarity, and clearing, we've been building this world that we're going to live in. And I was like, you have to live in the world that you've built, so hopefully it's a good world. And then I started talking about, you want to take a pottery class and make some new cups. Oh, that would be really fun. One of my friends from high school had like a kiln in her house or something, and so she just made pottery. I was like, that's really cool. There's Zelda. Hey, Zelda. Taking cups back. Yes. So then I was saying there was a metaphor. I saw it as like there's this yard, and there are like, for lack of a better flower, there are dandelions in the yard, and there's also trash in the yard. And what we've been doing is picking out all of the trash because there's this great wind that's going to blow. The Wheel of the Year has been coming out. I was like, this is the year that stuff really begins to move. Makes sense. 2020, new decade. We've cleared a decade's worth of karma, so there's a whole new cycle about to come in, right? But there's this wind that's about to come and pick things up. And hopefully you have all of the trash out of the yard, because if you didn't take the trash out of the yard when it was conveniently piled up after all of what happened in December, then moving forward, the wind is going to blow the trash all of the yard. It's going to be harder to clean. Also, if you were planting good seeds in the season that we were supposed to be planting them, and if you've been tending to them in this time, as the wind comes in, it's going to blow the seeds throughout the yard, right? So there's going to be this proliferation energy. And then the Chariot came out at the top of the next stack. And I was like, oh, that's what I was just talking about, the movement, right? It's the energy of proliferation. Whatever we've been, and I've said this before, like whatever you're giving your attention to and wherever your attention and focus is, regardless of how it looks on the outside, not wherever your actions, not whatever you're doing, wherever your intentions are, that's what's going to be picked up and pushed forward moving on. So if you've been acting nice up front, if you've been wearing a beautiful mask, putting on that great facade, but you're ugly on the inside, the ugly on the inside is going to make your world, it's going to start to decline. We're matching insides now. The outside is gone. Masks and facades are so 2019 minus, 2019 minus, right? Because now it's all about, the real stuff. Whew. Well, thank you, Chad. Or were you talking about somebody else? How's the work life today, girl? Oh, Zelda. Okay. Oh, you were talking about Zelda. We're wearing 3D glasses now, right? And that's actually kind of a beautiful analogy, because I feel like, especially in my mind, throughout 2019, I got a picture of what my life would be, right? And it's like, coming into 2020, it's like the pictures started to, first it was like sketched. Now there's like fine details, it's colored, and moving forward, it's like putting on the 3D glasses where it pops out of the picture and it surrounds us and it becomes our world. Hopefully you've been building a beautiful one. And then came the Eight of Cups, which cycled back to, because I think on the bottom of the Two of Cups is the Three of Swords. No, well, strength is on the bottom of the Two of Cups. So if you had the strength to give a cup, if you had the strength to take back a cup, if you had the strength to look at who has a cup from you, then that's a check mark on that. I mean, that is what it is. Either you had the strength to do it or you didn't have the strength. But with this, I saw the Three of Swords somewhere. And so this was like a reminder that leaving some people behind is going to be difficult. Miyoshi said bittersweet, which was perfect, because there was some time and attention and effort given out. Like we did give these cups at one point, and hopefully we're not giving our cups to just like any random person, right? But it's like you reach that point where you see that someone, it's like, when someone's had too much to drink, you cut them off. It's like you've had too much to drink, and it's for us to, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, okay. Well, this card just flew out. He was like, oh, remember about me, don't forget about me. It was the bottom of this deck. With this Eight of Cups, it's like, we have to be in this space where people are going to reap what they've been sowing. And as much as it sucks sometimes to see people that you care about going through some, like a rough time, it's like, I'm the type of person where I can't feel too bad about the consequences to someone's actions, because it's like, you did the action and you knew that this was a possible consequence. Like, you knew there was a chance that you might get caught, and you made the decision to do it anyway. So you got caught. Right? Whew, can I breathe? Exactly, Miyoshi. Amen. Have the strength to fill your own cups. And then that's perfect, because the next card we got was the Beyonce card. Remember? Beyonce came next. Nine of Pentacles. Get your own cups. And that was a whole thing about self-worth. And I feel like we've been also, at the same time that we've been planting good seeds, hopefully we've been building our self-worth, because as the wheel begins to turn, it's going to be easier to know like which things blow by. Like if our self-worth is a lot heavier than the thing coming in, then this should be so high that the wind just blows it right off the little platform before it can come in. But But on the other hand, if our self-worth is too low, when something comes in that we think is heavier than us, we go into those spaces of like not feeling worthy. And it's for us to know that we're worthy of all of the beautiful things coming in if we've been planting good seeds, so that we accept them, right? Accept the blessings coming in. Don't reject them. And if you've had the strength to fill your own cups, then you got 9 gold bricks on the platform on your side. So, you know. And then we have the Queen of Swords, which just came out. Right? The Queen of Swords is the queen who knows her worth to the extent that she can be a little brutal. She's a queen with a brain and a mind. Not to say that the other queens don't have brains, but she ain't the Queen of Cups, right? So she ain't gonna baby you. She ain't the Queen of Wands, right? So she ain't gonna like, I don't know, you know, like Mean Girls. Like one time Regina George slapped me in the face. It was the best moment of my life, right? If you get slapped by the Queen of Wands, you might be into it a little bit, you know? If the Queen of Wands slapped you, you might be in the bedroom. But the Queen of Swords, it's like, she don't play. It's the queen who knows the value of her time. It's the queen who knows that her time is precious. And she's not going to waste energy. She's not going to mix words. If you got to go, you got to go. Right? That's that queen. Whew. Follow the Beyonce brick road. Yes, I love it. Follow the Beyonce brick road. So let's see. All right. You really like this topic. Thanks, Zelda. It's just what the cards are showing me as I'm counting the cards to make sure I have them all. But let me go back. We're wearing 3D glasses now. Seeing everything up close, isn't it? Yes, heart. I really like this topic. It's like a film, the storyboard process, then the filming, the editing, and the release of the film. Exactly, Chad. Nice, Chad. Yes, I missed that. Had the strength to film my own gosh darn cups. My parents are getting home from the Bahamas today. I wish I went. Oh, you had class. Sorry. But I'm manifesting a vacation this year. So you're free to come with if you want. Let's see. They wanted alone time. Oh, that's what you said. My parents have been to all kinds of places and just left us at home. So I get it. You're home but driving to deliver the first cake of the day. You're here but driving to deliver the first cake of the day. Well, drive safe. Hopefully it's not too hot. I think you said it'll be in like the 20s today. So the tire should be fine. Still don't hit any potholes because you don't want the cake to shift or fall. But hey, Clorinda, welcome. I just went through a whole recap, Clorinda. I don't have the breath or the stamina to do it again. That's another reason why the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Swords is so short. Like, she's like, not only do I not have the time to waste, I don't have the stamina. You know how people say, like, you can't fix stupid or something like that? Like, I'm going to tell you one time, if you don't get it, you didn't get it, I'm gone. What was that? Let me see. What was it? Let me see. Oh, don't know. Okay. So then this will only be 8 because it's the last one. So this is the February of the pile. Right? 28 days, 8 cards in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh. Recap. No, it's not the 4 wands. Wait, what? 4P, 4 Pisces pillars. Recap times 2, 21. Wait, what? Oh, it is 21 today. Okay, nice. All right. So I'll do another recap for you, Clorinda. Does anyone want to guess what this last card is? If you guess the last card correct, then I'll I'll record a video for you. And disclaimer, it could be up to like 2 hours long. But if you guess the card, I'll do it. First person to guess the card. I'll give you a hint. Well, okay. Well, if you've been on my channel or if you've talked to me within the past few days, there's a card that I've said keeps popping out every time I pick up the deck. And it just came out at the top of the February pile, which signifies that things are about to start moving. That was a lot of hint. Y'all got 5 seconds and then I'm moving on. Even though this is delayed because I ain't trying to record no 2-hour video. 5, 4, Chad got it. It's the Wheel of the Year. Oh my gosh, y'all see that? Oh, Miyoshi, one chat too late. LMAO, we been new, right? We been new. And it's starting in February. The short stack, the shortest month, the Wheel of the Year. Like, I started like, this is our year. This is the year where things begin to turn. On the bottom or on the back is the Hermit. So with the Hermit, it's like, I've kind of said it before, but it's like the external world will begin to mirror our internal worlds. That's what happens whenever you come across these major tests and these major shifts. That's why it's so important that we've been doing the work within ourselves, because our outside is going to reflect the inside. And beginning now, things are really about to start picking up. And it's funny that the wheel stack sits under the chariot stack, right? The wheel sits under the chariot. Things are really about to start moving. The Queen of Swords is sitting under the World. That is, whenever we're approached by something, it's for us to have the intellect and the mind. Queen of Swords, Queen of the mind, Queen of the tongue, Queen of communication, and they're aligned. See, the problem with the Queen of Swords is like that's a mind-tongue connection and not necessarily like a mind-heart-tongue connection. Like there's no complete, because when it goes from the mind to the heart filters it a little bit. The heart puts a filter on it to make it more palatable, and then it comes out of the mouth. But with just the mind mouth, that's like, okay, she tells it like it is. And that's like this stuff, letting it blow off. Queen of Swords is Queen of Air. If you are too much heavier than whatever is coming in, if something comes in that is not up to your standard, if you don't want it in your world, blow it off the platform. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles sitting under the Karma card, right? So this is if you have been... I'm going to read this one up, where from our sense of self-worth, we are able to make new decisions. We are able to usher in new paradigms. And, oh, paradigm, I love that word, because that's exactly what we're moving into. The world itself is moving into a new paradigm, where we are deciding who is and who isn't untouchable, right? But, like, from this new sense of self-worth, we should be able to close cycles ourselves. And as we've been closing cycles, and as we've been clearing karma, as we've been learning, as we've been growing, like I've said, it's establishing this new world. This is the recap short version, right? I love how that worked out. And then we have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Cups, which together make 10 cups, right? These two make 10 cups, 2 cups, 8 cups. Oh, now, ooh, this is interesting. So when I picked up the Two of Cups, I accidentally touched the Karma card, and now it's sideways, right? So now Karma is the bridge between the Two of Cups and the world, which makes sense, right? So it's almost like Karma is the lens through which the universe and the world filters what becomes our reality, right? It's like if we tinted the atmosphere, if we sprayed something in the atmosphere so that it reflects all of the light of the visible spectrum past a certain time, so now everything appears to be blue, because blue is the only shade of light that will penetrate through the atmosphere and not be refracted and reflected back. Karma is that lens. And as we've been clearing karma, we've been cleaning off that lens. You know, you get your glasses solution. My glasses are filthy. They're always filthy. Actually, they might not be too bad right now. Wow, they're actually not that bad right now. There's a little smudge there, but yeah. It's the lens through which everything gets filtered. So, you know, we've been cleaning off, buffering the lens and doing stuff like that. But with the 2 and the 8, I started by saying, you know, there are people who we've given cups to, people who we've received cups from, and we were at the point, because now that I'm looking at it, since this is the last card that came out on the February stack, everything else happened before now. The wheel is moving. The game has begun. The race has started. If you're planting seeds now, unless you have miracle soil or miracle seed or miracle water or miracle sunlight or miracle voice, because plants like to be sung to. I'm not even paying attention to the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll get back to a second after this recap. But it's kind of too late to be planting those seeds. It's not too late to be planting those seeds. But as the first gust of wind comes in, the wind is already blowing. And if you didn't get all the trash out of the yard, you're going to have trash all over your yard. If you didn't plant your seeds in the season that we were planting, then your plants aren't going to be ready to germinate and proliferate, and like it's you're not gonna, the wind isn't gonna blow, you know, new seeds from a seed in the ground. You can't get seed from seed. Oh snap! Hold on, wait. I just got a text. Takes a while. When? Oh snap! Look at this. Chad said movie night. Who's joining? I guess he got multiple pairs of 3D glasses for the movie. Well, count me in, dude. Miracle Whip. No, Miracle Whip is gross. I was just telling Chad the other night that I ate so many sandwiches, like 3 years ago. I ate so many sandwiches that I now know the difference between mayonnaise and Miracle Whip is gross. It tastes sour. But all of this happened before now, and that's the recap. Someone's giving a cup, someone received a cup, and it started off by, we were in this place of deciding who gets to keep our cups, who deserves a cup, and who has lost their privilege to our cups. And that's why we have the 8 of Cups on the bottom, because everyone's responsible for their own actions. So basically, what I want to do now is, Miyoshi, since you were the first person in, you get to pick a stack. Now there's 10 cards in every stack, except for the 8 cards in the wheel stack. So you have the 2 of Cups stack, the Karma stack, the World stack, the Chariot stack, the 8 of Cups stack, the 9 of Pentacles stack, the Queen of Swords stack, or the Wheel of Fortune stack. And I'm going to pull 3 cards from that stack for you, randomly. And I'm just going to go with it. So which stack do you want, Miyoshi? As I come through and read the chats that I've missed. The 2-2 portal today. Oh, snap, it is, right? Well, it's today for Clarinda. It's tomorrow for the rest of us. Or tonight. 8. You want the 8 of Cups stack. Okay. I'll do this one. This one. Oops, and one just fell on the floor. Oh my gosh, I hate when cards fall on the floor, because then Oh, here it is. Nice.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna scroll up and read these real quick. But I have your cards, Miyoshi. The story is building in my head. On 555. Oh, Miyoshi was still guessing. We been new. LMAO. 10 of cupping it. LOL. Miracle. No. What movie? One for everyone in the chat. You're rushing to get through the portal. You are on my time, beautiful. Yeah, Miyoshi, you're on Clorinda's time. Okay, so the first card that came out was the Ace of Swords. Right? And the thing about this Ace of Swords is there is a bird. There's a bird on the Ace of Swords. The birds in a lot of decks, I'm talking that as some kind of hawk or eagle. Sort of like divine messengers, right? With this Ace of Swords. I'm sorry, I just saw the Ace of Swords pop up on my computer screen. So I feel like there's been a lot of information coming in for you. I know there's been a lot of information coming in for you. And it's almost sort of been, with the Seven of Swords, it's almost been too much. Because with this Seven of Swords, like, he's like, it's like the wands almost reach him. And it's like he has this high ground, but he's like, if you can see his face, where's his face here? There his face. You see his face? He kind of like, oh crap, like those wands are a little higher than I thought. I thought I would have been safe up here. So it's like you do have the power over your situations, but I don't think you're fully wielding it yet because you don't fully comprehend and understand what this information is going to be leading you to. And the last card is the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is hanging from this tree. So a little bit of Norse mythology for you. Odin hung himself from the world tree so that he could read the runes, learn the runes inscribed on it, right? And through him learning the runes and reading the runes, he got the knowledge to know how magic works. And so Odin sort of got that information for the gods. I think some of them might have already had some innate magic, maybe. I don't know. All I know is Odin was hanging from the world tree, reading the runes inscribed on it. And that's almost sort of like coming into this with the Ace of Swords. It's coming into this higher understanding of how the world works. And it's a very intellectual, I don't know why I wanted to say intellogical. It's a very intellectual understanding of how it works. And it's a sharpening of your own intuition because it's an energy of remembering, right? I feel like all of these wands, like it almost feels like these are being like you think that these wands are coming up to like attack you and you're defending yourself from these wands, but it's almost like these are being presented to you. And because the Six of Wands is the card of victory, right? And so with the Six of Wands on the outside, it's almost like there's a throne, there's a seat of power that's being given to you, but you're in this space where you're defensive because you feel the weight of the responsibility that comes with that. And while things have been stalling and while things have not been moving, because the crow is holding the pinnacle up top, ain't no, unless dude can do like, unless dude got mad abs, he ain't gonna be able to reach that. Now, if he do got mad abs, then he can just, I don't know, maybe he'll be able to crunch up there and grab that pinnacle. But he's not even worried about it. So it's like, it's almost like these matters up here with the blackbird, it may have seemed like there was some sense of decay in your physical life, but the pinnacle is on a string. and the bird has the pinnacle. Like, the pinnacle is not going to fall. The bird has it. It's out of your hands anyway. Anything that you have needed in this time has been granted and given to you. You are in the space that you're in because you need to be there. And yeah, like, keep learning, right? Because ultimately there's an enlightenment that comes at the end of it. And that's what I got. All right. There you go. There you go. Who's next? Who came in next? Zelda, if you're listening, you can pick a stack. There's the Two of Cups again, Karma, the World. I'll put these at the bottom face down. There's the Two of Cups, Karma, the World, the Chariot. If you want more cards from the Eight of Cups, I guess you can. The Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of the Year. Zelda, if I don't... I think Zelda's at work. So, Chad, if you're still in here, you were the next person in, and you can pick a stack if you want. Whoever comes in first, Zelda or Chad, Zelda might have to get to a space where she can reply. So, you know. Who's ever first? And then if Chad doesn't reply within like a certain amount of time, then Clorinda, you can go for it. And if nobody replies, then I get to leave. Let me stop because I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this. Oh, snap. Look at Mod Oshi down there with the list. Wow, too accurate. Thank you. I'm just trying to get into this space where it's just like, you know, where there's a little bit of, there's some of this. I don't know why it shifted directions, but and then it mixes and then it comes out of the throat as words. Man, I'm gonna give y'all like a minute because I ain't got all day. I know there's probably a little bit of a delay, but yes. It's 5:12. How long have I been on here? Does anyone know? I like that. Do you want to stack, my guy? I gotta take my behind tonight. I gotta take my behind to sleep tonight at a decent time. I'm right there with you, Miyoshi. Because my friend will be here tomorrow, and I don't know what time he's coming, and I need to be ready, because I ain't trying to get left. He's a Libra. Y'all pray for me. Because I'm going to be with him for a few weeks. And it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I won't see him that much. Because he'll be at work throughout the day. So, out of which, so you can pick from the Two of Cups stack. Remember that any card could be in the stack. But there's the Two of Cups stack, the Karma stack, the World stack, the Chariot, Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and then Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups has 3 cards pulled out of it, so there should be about 5 left. And then the Wheel of Fortune stack was only 8 cards because that's the Feb deck, or the Feb stack. Oh, you were texting Cindy. Okay. Check out Cosmic Mystic. She's awesome. So are all of you. Well, thank you. Will today. All right, gotcha. You're awesome too, Zelda. So 3 cards for Chad. I want to take the top 3 because my dude is on top. The reason why I came live. So I didn't tell you this, Chad, but I pulled a few cards for you because my deck was sitting out. And I was like, what's my dude up to? And it was a very interesting series. But the one card that kept coming out for you is the Six of Swords. Sailing on to calmer waters. It's leaving things behind. It's trust and knowing. In this deck, there is no one on this boat. I think this is my only deck that only has one person on the boat. Like, there are all these swords, but only one person. You're steering your own ship. You're paddling your own boat to calmer waters, which is amazing. To take... Oh, ow, oh, oh, oh. It's not a bad feeling. It's just, it's like, it's a lot. But to take life into your own hands and to steer the ship in the direction that you want towards calmer waters, like to have that level of autonomy and authority over your life is amazing. And my bar is dipping right now, so I don't even know if I froze or not. Okay, Miyoshi. You're like treading waters. Girl, this ain't treading energy. She's paddling. Now, he might be like, there's only one oar on this boat, right? And you might be a beginner at steering this ship yourself, but you're not treading water. You are actually moving. And then, oh my gosh. So then we have the Six of Cups, right? The Six of Cups, a lot of times I read the Six of Cups as soulmate energy because that's how I learned it. And I read the Six of Pentacles as, like, more specifically, like, I've taken that to mean, in a way, it's my personal, like, soulmate, divine card, partnership, whatever, because it's equal give and take, right? But we have this soulmate energy here, which is also this child energy. And I think with this steering, it's like you are healing your inner child, you're finding your inner child, you're making a return back to your inner child. But when they meet, you meet as the man you are now and the child you were then. And when you integrate the two, that's when you get a balance of that childlike fantasy and wonder and love and amazement with this maturity, with this knowledge of how things work, with this ability to actually implement changes. Because a child can envision and dream and want to be all of the things in the world, but when it's a child, or when you're a child, it's always, when I grow up, I want to be this. When I grow up, I want to do this. I can't wait to be 13 so I can go see movies, or I can't wait to be 21 to drink. I can't wait to be 16 to drive. It's like all these things that you want to do, but you don't necessarily feel that you are capable of doing. But when you take who you are, then when you take the one who is of age, who knows how to do all of those things, that's when you start to really truly begin to manifest something beautiful. So yes, there is a soulmate energy here, but there's also, it's like, and I thought of it one day and I was like, find the person that, like, your inner child would be friends with, right? Because I think a lot of times when we're not in charge of our own lives, we go towards people who sort of fulfill holes within us. We try to bandage them and we try to cover them up. And if you have any holes in this boat, girl, she going down. And you the only person on board, so ain't nobody to help you. Ain't no buckets on this boat. Ain't no cups on this boat. You got swords. So if you can chop the water and get the water out the boat, then hey. But if you get any leaks in this boat, you might be going down. But you fixed all the holes in the boat, right? And that's why you're seaworthy now. That's why you are where you are now. And that's why you are making this return with this Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy specifically, because it's mutable fire. But it could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But the thing about Sagittarius is that they are ruled by Jupiter. And we have the Hangman. Miyoshi just got the Hangman. I was like, I know I just saw the Hangman. Excuse me. But it's like, it's very philosophical. Sagittarius. Sagittarius also expands. Sagittarius is the freedom. Sagittarius is your girl Brittany, coming into your Brittany energy. Okay, I love it. All right, let me read some of this chat for a second. Whew. Welcome back, Miyoshi. You can swim, LOL. White horse, question mark. Is it a white horse? Oh, it is a white horse, isn't it? Yeah, it is. There's that white horse. Brittany on a white horse. But it is that, it's also that energy of like fun. It's that energy of expansion. It's the energy of like expansion through experience. And people talk about the Nine of Wands like he's some huge player. And maybe you are like, let me stop. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to joke today. Even though joking should be a Sagittarius's area of expertise. Joking and fun. But people like rag on the Knight of Wands saying that he's like, that's player type energy, blah, 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 whatever. But it's an intense desire to experience, right? There's this desire to experience, this desire to expand. Jupiter is also a very expansive planet. It is the planet of expansion. It is the planet of higher knowledge, right? So there's this expansion that you're doing. As you expand, you're breaking out of your shell. You're shaking it up. You're shedding old skin. You're growing. And I feel like it's been this very rapid series of like growing, shedding, growing, shedding, growing, shedding, growing, shedding, growing, shedding, growing, shedding. And so it's like you're at this point where it's almost like there's so much that you want, or this is how I'm feeling it. It almost feels like there's so much that you want to experience that you kind of don't know where to start. And, oh no, I gotta grab them. Why did I put them down? You kind of don't know where to start. I would say, if you can, since this is the February card, since this is the wheel of the year, I would say try to do one thing this year that you've always wanted to do. One thing that you've wanted to do since you were a kid that you have not done yet. Steer the boat in that direction if you want. That'd be cool. And that's what I got for you, Chad. So Zelda or Clorinda, whoever says which stack they want next, it's up to you. It's so rapid, yeah. You love your white horses. That's that blanco horsey. I don't know how to say horsey in Spanish. What is horse in Japanese? Uma? 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 Ma? Ma? Uma? Ma? 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 Ma is horse in Chinese. I should know horse in Japanese. I know shiro. Shiroi uma. Shiroi uma. How do you say horse in Japanese? Wait. No, I almost remembered the word for horse meat, but I can't remember. All right, Zelda, you're trying to hide your phone. Do not want to get in trouble at work. Okay, if I don't want to get you in trouble at work either. So I got you next time you come in. How's that? And just remind me. Then we can just do that. Because I don't want you to get in trouble. For me, 7. So you want the 7th stack? Is there a 7 on the table? We have 2 of Cups, Karma, the World, Chariot. 7 is the Queen of Swords. No, wait. Yeah, 7 is the Queen of Swords, so I'll give you the stack of the Queen of Swords because you said 7. I think you can still listen, right? So I'll just give you those. Pick a stack real quick. 7 stack. 7 stack. Resonated hardcore, right? I'm on it tonight. I feel, because like I was pulling cards, and the cards that came out for you, it was interesting. Because I don't want to give out too much, but they were all in the sword suit. And it fits that story that I just gave you of expanding, shedding, expanding, shedding, expanding, shedding, expanding, shedding. Because the first card that came out was the 10 of Swords, and then another card came out. And then the 9 of Swords came out, and a different card came out. And I had pulled the energy face down first, and I looked at all those, and I was like, okay, we're descending in swords. You're going from being on the brink of just being completely out of the game to just staying up at night thinking about some stuff, right? And then I flipped the card later, and it was the 6 of Swords. I was like, okay, still swords, nice. So we're moving away from that 10 of Swords moment. And then I shuffled the cards up, and all of these cards I pulled from the middle of the deck, because that's where I am today. I'm pulling from the middle of the deck today, because I know Sprague got my back. But then when it was like the 10 and the 8 and then the 6 up top, I was like, it would be funny if like the 10, the 9, and the Six up top. I was like, it would be funny if the Eight of Swords came out and then the Seven of Swords came out, and then it kept going. And so I did another round, and the Eight of Swords came out. I was like, oh my gosh, what? And then the Six of Swords came out again. I was like, okay. And then you just got the Six of Swords. So hey, there you go. Okay, Zoda. Talk to you later. So wait. Back to business. All right, gotcha. Love that energy, right? I was like, okay. We're and then eventually once you go from 10 to 1, the Ace of Swords is knowledge. The Ace of Swords is, I don't know why I wanted to say integrity, but the Ace of Swords is clarity, and I guess in integrity it's sort of giving you the power to know your situation beyond the circumstances and giving you the power to choose. At the Ace of Swords, you get the choice to wield the sword if you want, or you can just stare at it. But knowing you, you would probably wield the sword, and it's like pulling the sword from the stone, right? It's like you become King Arthur. You know, it's like you pick up the sword and it's like, well, you get all these memories back, and you know who you are, and you know where you're going, and you know what you're doing, and then it's very light, and it's like razor sharp, girl, so be careful with it. But yeah. Alright, so Zelda is piecing out and Clorinda has not replied yet. So girl, I should have known you were gonna go there. I should have known. But it is a big role, right? It is. And it is. I want to say it's a lot of responsibility, but it's also a lot of fun, right? What's fun and responsibility? It's a lot of fun responsibility where you get to enjoy it and you get to do what you do, but there are going to be some times when there's going to be like a word that you have to speak or a message you have to give or something like that, right? That's the responsibility part of it. But yeah, that's a pretty big role. Don't abuse the power, you know, girl. Don't go cutting folks that don't deserve to be cut down. What? Wait, what? Oh, okay, Miyoshi. Girl, ain't nobody, you fine, Miyoshi. Ain't nobody, you ain't gonna die. You're not gonna die, Miyoshi. Ah. You don't even want the power, you don't want to abuse it. Well, too bad. To both you and Miyoshi, too bad. To myself, too bad. But as long as you operate from the heart, as long as you operate from the heart, as long as you use your discernment, as long as you're connected, then you'll be fine, right? And I almost feel like it is a lot of responsibility, but I feel like most of the responsibility, at least in your case, Miyoshi's case might be a little different. But in your case, a lot of the responsibility, honestly, probably is just going to be like continuing to do the things that you feel led to do. Like, as long as you continue to do that, I think you'll be fine. I'm just gonna keep being me and grow. Exactly. That's all that's being asked of you. That's all that's being asked of any of us, is to continue growing and to not get stuck. I guess I'll pull some for myself since I'm waiting for Clorinda. Which stack do I want? Do I want the Beyonce stack or the Queen? I'll take the Queen of Swords stack because I need to learn how to speak my truth. And I'll take the bottom three because I don't know. I'm just feeling it. Well, I'll take the bottom two. And then this one. This one or this one? This one. Okay. They both felt, you know what? I'll take both of them. I'm giving myself 4 cards because they both felt pretty intense, but one felt more intense than the other one. All right. First card is the 8 of Wands. This card to me says, this card to me says that, hey, knock, knock, knock. The time to move was like yesterday, and you still don't have your shoes on. So, what are you doing? But it's that like that energy of like buckle up because things are really about to move. As soon as you set your mind to it, see, wands and swords are 2 sides of the mind. Swords is the thought side, and then wands, that's the passion and the drive side. That's the motivation. That's the drive. Wands is the vision. That's the dream, right? So it's like as soon as you decide you're ready to move, things will really begin to move. But girl, you should have been moving like yesterday, if we're being completely honest. With the Knight of Pentacles, you've been moving way too slow. Way too slow. Look at this energy, y'all. Y'all see this? 8 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Does that make sense? Right? But I think also it's like, now that the Pentacle is in hand, like that's the Knight of Wands, or that's the Knight of Pentacles who knows where he's going. So he can like, you know, crack the reins and like start to actually move because of this Pentacle. Because of this seed. It's like this Knight of Pentacles has had this miracle seed, right? Because I was talking about miracle seeds earlier. This Knight of Pentacles has a miracle seed. And it's looked like he's been taking a long time. But he's been researching. So, oops, wrong card. So the Knight of Pentacles has this miracle seed. He knows where there's miracle water that will make the miracle seed actually grow. Because if you don't... See, the thing about a miracle seed is the miracle seed is only a miracle seed if nurtured as the seed that it is. If you treat a miracle seed like a regular seed, you're going to get a regular plant. Sorry, like miracle seed isn't just, oh, I have a miracle seed, I'm going to get a beanstalk. It's like, no, you still have to tend to a miracle seed, right? That's how people end up winning lotteries, but several years later they're like homeless or they're like on drugs or something, and you're like, where did the money go? Like, what did you do with it, right? So he's going to get miracle water, right? After he gets the miracle water, he has to find the miracle soil so he can put the miracle seed in the miracle soil, tend to it with miracle water, make sure that with the area it gets enough sunlight to grow. And so it's been looking like he's taking a long time, but now he's ready to move. It's like he's got all of the stuff that he needs. He knows that this seed is gonna, like, it's miracle seed. And he's like, you know, I just want to plant it in the right area because I have the water, and there are like 5 different miracle areas. There's only actually one miracle area, and I really want to go to that miracle area, but you know, this is why I'm a Knight of Pentacles. I think too much. Clarinda's back. Cake 1 delivered. Okay, Clarinda, while I have you here, you can choose a card from the 2 of Cups stack, the Karma stack, the World stack, the Chariot stack, the 9 of Pentacles stack, or you can choose from a stack that's already been chosen from, which is the 8 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, that I'm reading for myself now, and the Will of the Year. So then I can do you a little read and you can watch it back when you're done. So yeah, if you want to put one of those in. Again, that's the 2 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, the Karma, 9 of Pentacles, the World, Queen of Swords, the Chariot, or the Will of the Year. The 8 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Will of the Year have already been pulled from. Disclaimer. Nine of Pentacles, please. Okay, gotcha. I'm chopping up fruit for my smoothie bags if I don't reply. Oh, snap, you're making smoothie bags? Okay, Miyoshi. I see you. Oh, girl. The next card is the Ten of Swords, which is kind of accurate. I want to read the last card first. The last card is the Page of Cups. Okay, yeah, because this is... So these two are a pair, which is why I felt both of these cards. Because this would have been an incomplete picture without both of these. Thanks, feminine side of my energy, for knowing. I felt it. I was like... The Ten of Swords was the card that hit heavier for me, but I still felt the Page of Swords. This is a cup that I immaturely, foolishly gave to someone that I have recently retrieved. That is Ten of Swords dead. You ain't going back there. It was a gross place, right? And with this Page of Swords, or this Page of Cups, it's like the Page of... And it's funny that the Page of Cups is in the Queen of Swords deck. So I'm going to take that as something that I need to learn to begin to speak. Because with the Page, it's like once I give a cup to someone, I don't always feel comfortable taking it back from them. Because it's not that I don't feel comfortable. I feel bad. It's like, oh, I understand where they are, and I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. But recently, it's like, and it happened yesterday. It happened yesterday. That was the last weed that I needed to pull up. That was the last piece of trash in the yard before today, before the wind starts to blow. So, thank you, universe, for that opportunity. Because when I got that message, I was like, where did you come from? But I was just straight up like, hey, you know, like, we have different interests. We have different outlooks on life. We're going in different directions. It's a rift that's been forming for a while, and I don't want to be mean, but I'm not interested in maintaining this anymore. And then I got a reply. It was like, okay, that's what I thought. It was like, that's what I thought. Okay, then. I was just like, bye. And so I have leveled up in sort of like knowing when it's time to retrieve a cup. And so maybe that's the end of the cycle. And it's this end of a cycle of like allowing other people to hold me back, or to it's an end of taking on other people's burdens. And it's not the Ten of Wands, but the burdens that I've been carrying for some people are... It's like it's doing more than just putting extra strain on my back. They have been swords, and I'm not like... These swords are consequences, right? These swords are hard lessons. And I also got to a space of like, I think it's the King of Cups that knows that sometimes a hard lesson has to be learned. Right? It's the King of Cups that can realize when their presence in someone's life holds that person back from learning something that they need to learn and grow. And it also stifles them in a way. It's the King of Cups that knows that you can't pour water into a sieve, into a slotted anything. You can't pour water into a strainer and expect for it to overflow. It's full of holes. The water is going to go on the floor. The Queen of Cups knows it as well. But the Queen of Cups, she gives more than the King. I think the Queen gives more lenience. The Queen gives more grace. And the King is like, I poured into you once. I poured into you once and I didn't see anything happen. I poured into you the second time and I noticed the water hitting the floor, and I'm not going to pour into you a third time. And so I think this page in the Queen of Swords deck is sort of like coming into that space. And with the Ten of Swords, it is a completion of that. And that in and of itself was a lesson that this knight had to learn. Because this knight spent too much time looking at resources looking at places, finding locations that like didn't serve. And it's like, okay, well this area of land would require, first we got to irrigate it. We have to dig up the weeds. Some of it is overgrown, so we got to clear it out. We got to do this and we got to do that and we got to do this, and then it might be ready for the seed. But I don't know if the soil is any good here, right? So it's an end to all that, like, because it's time to start moving. And that's what I got for me. No more coddling. Yes, Miyoshi. And and look, I picked the card from the Queen of Swords stack, right? You think she coddle anybody? She like, if you want coddling, go to the Queen of Swords. I ain't got time. Man. Yeah, so that happened yesterday. 2 nights ago, he reached out. And every time he reached out, it's like my vibe shifted. And it's weird because, like, I had this weird pain. It felt like wheezing and burning. Like, if you ever, I don't know, like if you have asthma or you get bronchitis or pneumonia, maybe. There's like, if you overwork your lungs to the point where you start wheezing and it burns. It was like I got that feeling in my hollow heart, because I don't know what else to call it. Because it, like, if I was in a mirror, it would be in my heart. Because, like, the heart I feel on the left side, but it was on the right side. And it was burning and it was wheezing. And I was like, what is this pain? Because there's a few times I feel something and then, like, somebody will reach out or somebody will say something. And I didn't know if it was my mom. I didn't know if it was one of my friends. And then later that night, I get a message from him that was like, hey, like, we should hang out and chat tomorrow. And I was like, oh, I'm busy tomorrow, and then I'm going to be gone. And then he was like, well, I've tried, so the ball's in your court. And I was like, oh, well, actually, I don't play sports, so I'm just going to walk away. And that's what happened. I'm glad I handled it before the trash blew all over the yard, but all right, Clorinda. Or maybe I should go Karma. Yeah, and it's funny because, like, Miyoshi, he knew it was coming. He knew what I was going to say. And then I was like, oh, that's why I felt it in my hollow heart, right? It didn't even hit me in the heart, right? Because, like, I do wish the best for him, but he was the type of person who, if I was ever in my light, he would try to snuff it out. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that anymore. And I don't have time for these low vibrational things that you say, these low vibrational environments that you try to put me in. We have like literally nothing in common now. When we met, we were both depressed, we were both miserable, and that's what we bonded over. And then I wanted to get better. So I started doing stuff. And at a certain point after I started doing so much, then he would self-medicate. And it's like I knew that he knew that there were actual resources that could help him, but instead of trying to utilize them, he would just continue to self-medicate. And I'm like, I can't do anything for you, my guy. I'm sorry, I gotta move. But yeah. So, yeah, he knew it was coming, and that's why it like burned, and I felt like wheezing, and I was like, what is this? I don't even have a heart here. So Clorinda, do you want to stay with the Karma stack, or do you want the Nine of Pentacles stack? And it's funny because the Karma stack is right on top of the Nine of Pentacles stack. Which one you want, girl? Let me know. Because I guess that's another thing. It's like people can intuitively feel whenever something is about to end. And in order to prevent that from happening, they might reach out more than usual, or they might get like weirdly nostalgic, right? Because they could sense that separation coming. You pick. Okay. Well, I'm going to do a mix. I'll pull you 2 cards from the Nine of Pentacles stack. We'll do 2 from the very middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do these two. Oh my gosh, I know what one of these cards is. Because it's the only card in the whole deck that feels like this. And then from the Karma stack, I'll pull this one because I'm feeling it. Oh my goodness. So I know what the middle message is, Clorinda. But let's see. Yeah, I actually... Was it you or Clorinda or somebody else? No, maybe I didn't. But there was one day I felt like my stomach randomly started like turning in knots or something. And I was like, because I know it's not me because, you know, I don't have those feelings. And I was like, what is going on today? And then he reached out to me that day. And he was like, oh man, it's a shame that we didn't hang out before you left. And I was like, yeah, that's really unfortunate, but I was busy with classes, so, you know. And he was like, oh yeah, I just wish we could have hung out before you left. Maybe we could hang out on a chat sometime and catch up. And I was like, yeah, you know, I was just really busy with classes. And then he was like, oh, well, you don't live that far, so maybe I can visit. And I was like, oop, no, sorry, no. And that's another thing that for me, 2020 has been doing for me. Because like I've said, I think it's up to us to really build and establish our own sense of internal guidance. But it will also be affirmed and reaffirmed, right? And I was saying earlier that it's like we were supposed to be getting to this point where we don't need, I said like in December, we are supposed to be getting to this point where we don't need someone else to read for us, where we can tap into our own internal sense of guidance and to move. Because if we have to ask someone else what we should be doing, we're slowing it down. We're going to create delays because we're supposed to be moving, like Heart of Inspiration says, like learning to live at the speed of spirit. And like if you have to seek out confirmation, you're delaying it, and you might delay something to the point where you miss it and you have to wait for the next one to come. And missing it isn't bad at all, but it's just delayed, right? You just have to wait for the next one to come when you could have made the first one. But there's still going to be things for you to learn, and you're still going to grow. 1 second. And who this? Girl, what? What? What does this mean? I'm so confused. But it's going to create delays. And I did not know that this month would be as crazy as it was. Part of me honestly thought that after December things would slow down, but January sped up. But one of the things that sped up, like I don't think I've necessarily gotten as many signs, but I have been getting constant affirmation and confirmation and synchronicities. It's like there's a lot of them and they keep coming. It's like, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing whatever, right? So it's not that we're completely lost. It will be affirmed, but why am I talking about this? I don't remember. I honestly just forgot. He was trying every back door, girl. They all locked. The doors are locked. The windows are locked. And low key, ain't nobody even at that house. I'm not even at that address anymore. So yeah. Right, I'm like, oh, sorry, not interested. Oh my gosh! Girl. Oh, I get it now. Oh, girl. Okay, I'm with you now, Chad. So this is what Chad sent me. I guess he found it on the internet, right? It's one person saying, I want flowers on the 14th, and another person saying, then die on the 13th. I feel like that's a metaphor for like for some of the folks who we may have given cups to, they might want something from us on the 14th, but the only way that they're going to get something for us on the 14th is if it's in memoriam to them. Like, what, you want me to pour out a shot for you? Say, like, this one is for the cup that I just took back. You can have your liquid. You can come lick the liquid up off the ground if you want to, but the cup is mine. And I'm taking it back. Let me stop. Okay. All right. I got you now. I get it now. All right. It took me a while to get it, but I got it. Whew. Okay. So, Clorinda, I am so sorry for that. Let me get recentered. I've been vibing high. Ooh. All right. I feel y'all down here. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is going to be very interesting, Clorinda. Because I already know what the second card is. So the first card you get, and I pulled the first two from the Nine of Pentacles stack, and then I pulled one from the Karma stack. First card is the Ace of Cups. This is your cup overfloweth. There are 5 streams. Or 4. There are 4 streams coming out of this cup. The middle one is the cup. I'm dumb. Sorry. There are 4 streams coming out of this cup, right? The cup is overflowing. There's 4 streams here. One of these might be like a spirituality, because cups can represent spirituality. One of these can be friendships, because cups represent friendships. One of these can be creativity, because cups also represent an aspect of creativity. Even though the wands might be more like passion projects, cups also have some energy of creativity, because it's from the heart. We create from the heart. And then the last stream could be a partnership, right? So this is complete. It's like life energy. Cups is life energy. Earth is the ground from which everything springs, but water is the life that it drinks. Excuse me. You always get nervous. Oh. Your parents landed safely. Glad to hear it. I was getting nervous. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about cruises. I haven't seen, but I know about Titanic and Ghost Ship and all these movies where people are on a boat and disasters happen. So, and then it's open water. Like, if you need to escape, how do you? But let me get over that fear. I don't like cruises. I don't like boats. I don't like ships. Because even if you can swim, I guess there are some people, you hear stories about, oh, this person swam 50 miles with no sleep to get back to land. Those people, amen, hallelujah. But I don't want to have to be in that situation to find out that I can do that. All right. Right? I'm a Pisces, but I don't like water. I have a lot of earth in my chart. Let me stop. I like water, just not a lot of water. Okay, sorry, Clorinda. Oh my gosh. So you have the Ace of Cups. And the second card, I already know what it is because it's the only card in my entire deck that feels like this. But I already was going to pick it before I picked it. The second card is the Ten of Cups. So you have the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. And I know it's the Ten of Cups because y'all see that? I accidentally got these cards wet. And thank goodness they're saved. But as I was drying this card, I kind of wiped off that edge. But the rainbow was still there. All the cups are still there. So maybe there's like this little gray area that you're kind of sort of in right now. And it's up to you to begin to add color to your world, right? It's up to you to really come out of this gray space. Like if you want all of this fulfillment and abundance, like there are 10 cups. Right? And 2 people are the focus. They're the adults. The children come because of the 10 cups. So this is when 2 people can bring 5 cups together. So if you're not bringing all 5 of your cups, you're going to be short of 10 cups. And then the last card is the 3 of Wands. I think this is you continuing on a journey that you've already started. Because the 2 is like the beginning of the journey to me. The 3 is the progression. The 3 is, it's like knowing where you're going. The 3 is the energy of like continuing. 2 is starting, 3 is continuing. So it's really important for you to continue on this journey, because what you don't want to happen is, like I said, like when it's time, when this other person brings their 5 cups, you don't want to only have like 3 cups and then you're stuck in this 8 of cups situation where you're sort of like, where you need to move on from something, right? And what you definitely don't want to do is show up with 0 cups, because 5 of cups is just like crying over spilled milk. It's like the 3 cups knocked over when you could have had 5 cups upright. So keep working on your cups so you can get the 10 cups to receive or give this Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups abundance, and it's just like a renewal. Water is a renewal. It's renewed creativity. It's renewed love. It's a refill. So you can get this refill. And like, it's sort of like there's 4 cups that you already have. Like you see those 4 streams? If you put a cup under each stream, those are 4 cups that will fill themselves. And you only got to fill 1 cup, and then you'll have your 5 cups for the 10 cups. But keep going. Don't get complacent. Don't stop. Keep moving. Keep moving. And that's what I got for you. I do want to put this one back in the karma deck for some reason. And that's all I got. I think I'm going to end this off with a collective. And so for the collective, I'm going to pull... Oof. Man. Okay. Well, I guess I thought it, so I'll do it. Thank you for coming with me this far. This is the end of the personal readings for y'all folks in here. Now what I'm going to do is do a little bit of a collective, and I didn't want to do it this way, but it came to me this way, so I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to pull the first card under the face card from each stack, and then that's going to be the collective energy, hopefully moving forward. Whew. Personals closed. Oh, Chad, I owe you a video now. I forgot, because you guessed the card. It was the Will of the Year and you guessed it. So look forward to a 3-hour video from yours truly. I'm just playing. Yeah, cruises scare me. The idea of deep open water does petrify me. LOL. Sorry, my mama just called me. No problem. Hi, Mama Lynn. Mama Lynn, Daddy Tim. Daddy Tim? That sounds, I don't know. Lynn and Tim, hello. Glad you made it safely. How do we get 20 cups? 20 cups? If you want 20 cups, that is when both people come with 10 cups. Now, a 20 of cups is... I kind of want to say the 20 of cups is what separates a more divine union and partnership from a more base, like twin flame level partnership. Because the energy of the twin flame seems to be this. There's one masculine, there's one feminine, and they come together and they make a whole. Together they are whole. To get 20 cups, you take one bubble, which is, it's 3D, right? It's 3-dimensional. It's full and complete in every direction. And you take another bubble and you merge 2 bubbles together and they grow into a bigger bubble. When each person comes to the table with 10 cups, you get 20 cups. Each person comes already fully healed, already fully integrated, already complete. You get 20 cups. That's a merging of 2 bubbles, right? To create more bubbles. If you have cups, if you pour 5 cups worth of liquid and 5 cups worth of liquid into one big cup, you're going to get 10 cups worth of liquid. But if you put a bubble and a bubble together, it grows and expands beyond what the volume of the 2 separately was. Like 10 cups is 10 cups. Whether you have them all together in one bucket or you split them up between 10 cups is 10 cups. But with the bubbles, with the merged bubbles, you get more than it was separately. And you get more than it was separately because each person is full and whole and fully functional and wholly integrated within themselves. That's how you get 20 cups. Fun fact. Anyway, cruises are awesome. So much fun, y'all. Shout out to Clarinda for being the one water sign in the chat right now who likes cruises. Does a cat have cups? Girl, Chad. Pour back into yourself. How do you get 20 cups? Thank you. Lovely. Yes. Collective. Yes. Yes. Love you all. Love you too, Clarinda. Trying to get merry and drunk. Can it be 20 hours though? 20 hours for what? A 20-hour marriage? Girl? Same here, Chad. Ew, don't say that. Oh well. Cruises are awesome. Does cat have cups? Is that why people have 90 cats? Oh, so you're saying that like a cat has so much of a cup and so they compensate for the cups that they don't have with cats? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's why I was like, what are you talking about? Does a cat have cups? Like, yeah. I mean, anything that you care about can have a cup. But yeah, okay. All right, I got you. Hey, I was almost a cat dude. I could still be a cat dude, so. Interesting. And I'm going to put the rest of the deck together now. Oh. The song that just popped into my head as I pick up the world stack, the song that pops into my head is A Whole New World. Because that's what this is looking like right now. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see how this story is going to weave itself. I'll stop here. And then I'll do the last ones as I go. Because this is interesting. Okay, alright. This will be interesting. Chad, stop. It took me a second, girl, but I'm there. Oh, I'll take a little bit of cream in my cup. Whipped cream. Let me stop. Ice cream, yes. Ice cream in a cup. Put some drink in it. Make a drink float. So we start with the Two of Wands. This is that embarking upon something new. This, and you see this? Look at this. You see this? Look at this. He's holding one wand, and there's one wand. This, wait. Hold on. Oh, I already mixed it up. Goodness. Clorinda, I think I read you wrong, girl. I see the Empress in here. Oh, snap. Okay, Empress. I'm shook. Shook-a-duck. Duck-a-duck. Shook. I'm shook. Clorinda, I read you the wrong card, girl. Because I'm like, wait, how did this card come out? Clorinda, you got the Two of Wands. For some reason in this deck, I mix up the Two and the Three of Wands. So you got the Two of Wands, right? So all of this is saying to me is you're going to have to put a little bit more effort into filling your own cups. The 3 was you continuing to fill your own cups. The 2 is you being really intent and really focused on filling your cups. Because if you don't fill your cups, you are going to be short of 10. And you don't want to be short of 10 cups. So be really, really intent and focus on it. because we start with the 3 here, and then I was like, wait, I just read the 3. That was the 2. So a little bit more, but basically the same. Who's doing laundry? Whipped cream exactly on our hot choco cup. I did laundry earlier, but I'm not doing laundry now. So we start with the 3, right? So with the 3, there's 2 that are left behind, and there's 1 that continues. It also looks like he's on a cliff. Is he on a cliff, y'all? Is this a fool? Oh, snap. He's about to jump. He's about to fly. Look at that cape. He's Superman. Oh, my gosh. With the red, this is related to the root chakra. So, my dude, sometimes he'll read a 3 as the beginning of a foundation. 1 second, y'all. Oh, okay. So, my dude said that with that 2 of cups, you might want to put some distance in somewhere. Now that can be putting distance between you and someone else, or that could be giving yourself distance, right? So if you can't fully fill your cups while you are engaged with this, or if you can't fill your cups while you're entertaining that, like, you want to be in an environment where it is safe for you to fill your cups. I'm trying to build off of what he said. Forgot to say BRB. Okay, welcome back, Miyoshi. I'm at the top of the spread. I'm doing a collective right now. Chad, calm down. You're getting a little litty. You continue to get lit, my dude. Have as much fun as you want to have. But yeah, he was saying like you might want to introduce some distance there so that the cups don't get stolen. And a stolen cup is just a cup that you lose when you're not paying attention, right? A stolen cup is you. It's like, if you're at a bar. If you're at a bar and there's lots of people in this bar and you fill up your cup and you set it on the bar, you fill up your cup, you set it on the bar, you fill up a cup, you set it on the bar, and then you come back and there's like 2 cups missing. But like some people might just think it's open bar, like, oh, come, like a free cup, whoa, like, and then they drink it. You're like, wait. So make sure there's enough distance where you can really fully focus on yourself. Also, like, you might want to close some distance with family. Like, really pull into and reintegrate and re-immerse yourself with your family and with people who can love and support you in your day-to-day, right? Like, interacting with us is great, and I'm glad that we can do this for each other, but I think it's also important that we tend to our personal relationships as well, because a shortage of cups anywhere is a shortage of cups everywhere. So, oh, I want some peanuts now. Yeah. Like, we ate peanuts. Okay, alright. So, back to the collective. Oof. Oh my gosh. Is this card in reverse now? Girl, the card is in reverse now. It fell out my hand, and it landed in reverse. This is my all-upright deck, by the way. So, with this, this could be the return of something from the past, or it could be a return to a passion of the past. It could be someone coming from the past with something fiery and hot, or it could be us sort of like circling back, going to the things that we used to enjoy and reintroducing that fun back into our lives. Because this is the 3, right? So this is the energy of continuing something. So maybe there is something from the past that is worth continuing. And this might be for a very, very, very select few of you. It's only a few of us in here. So it might be for like half of one of us. Take it as it resonates. Use your discernment. Being that Queen of Pentacles, know your worth type energy. Being that Queen of Swords, not accepting anything less type energy. Being in that Queen of Cups, loving yourself type energy. And then from a space of loving yourself, then loving others. Be in the space of the Queen of Wands, like standing in your power, knowing that you're the baddest female in the room and all eyes is on you type energy, right? Because then if you're in that energy, there is nothing less. When you're in that energy, you're sitting as an empress. And the empress, like, she gets the finest. She gets the finest. But she gets the finest because she demands the finest in every area. And if what's coming back ain't fine, if it ain't fine wine, if it didn't get better with age, spit it out. It's a peanut, throw it on the ground. But I'm putting this back upright because it came out upright. Whew. Okay. All right, Miyoshi. You needed to hear that. Chad, what is pin 15? What is that? Oh, peanuts. It was a typo. Okay, gotcha. All right. So we move from that energy to the Magician, which is all about making things happen. The Magician make things work. Is this also another red or is this orange? I think this is red. Excuse me. This is red. So with this card, we're reestablishing our foundation. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Because my dude, he reads this sometimes. Sometimes he'll read a 3 as like the beginning of a foundation. Because 4 is the foundation, right? So the 3 is like beginning a foundation. And it's almost like you're going out and you're seeking the 4th wand. I guess 4 of Wands is a twin flame in my dude book. But 4 of Wands is a celebration in general. So it's like you're going out and you're seeking the 4th wand to bring back home to begin to build a house. And with this red, I say that because red is the color of the root chakra, right? So that's foundation. So there's 3, almost 4. 3 isn't quite a solid foundation, but that's where we are. We're on the energetic level of foundation. And so we are manifesting from a very foundational place. From this new foundation that we've created for ourselves. We're creating that foundation and we're creating from that foundation. And like the dude from the Money Pit said, as long as the foundation is good, anything can be fixed. So we're establishing, we're building that good foundation. We are creating things that can build off of that foundation. And anything that doesn't fit that foundation, we sleep on it. You see 4 of Swords, we sleep on it. 5 of Cups, we pass. Is this the 5 of Cups? This is the 5 of Cups, okay. Sleep on it, 4 of Swords, pass. If that cup ain't upright, see what we don't have time for going forward. Here's a scenario, okay? Let's say that someone comes back and you're like, I don't know if this thing coming back is good or not. Let's say they come with a cup. If the cup is upright, pour a little bit into it. See if it holds water. Pour a little more. See if it holds water. Okay, it's a good cup. You can continue to pour. And then if they pour back into you, as long as it's mutual, boom. Now, if they come with a cup that's upside down, it's like... Or if they don't come with a cup at all, because like, you know, the 3 cups on the ground, right, where they at? The 3 cups that spilled right there, we ain't got time for them. We ain't picking up nobody cup. We ain't giving out our own cups. Come with a cup and be ready for it to be filled. If you ain't ready, I'm moving on. I'm sorry, I don't have time. We're out of time, like clock's ticking. We're running on will time now. We running on will time now. With the chariot, I already pulled the chariot, but things are moving too quick. I'm just running by like this. You know, you run by with the pitcher out. Boom, 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 boom. If the cup ain't up, Sorry, you don't get no water. Your cup should have been ready. If your cup is ready, boom, you're filled. Go. All right. Oh, this is my least favorite card in this deck. It really is. I really don't like this card because it looks like somebody I would know, and then I'm just like, oh, why? All right. You needed to hear that. I love red. Oh, I do remember movie night. I don't think I will ever forget movie night, if I'm being completely honest, because that was it was a very interesting day. The moon was in Pisces that day. That was cute. It was so cute. And it's funny because that one day I remember the moon was in Aries when I was randomly super like whatever. And then the moon was in Pisces for movie night. So who knows what's going to happen next time the moon is in Aquarius, you know? Because I guess we're going backwards throughout the moon cycles. So the next card up is my least favorite card in this deck. It's the Page of Swords. Like, look at this dude. Can y'all see him? Like, look at him. Oh, he's blurry, but I'm just like, who's afraid of this? Like, you see this and you're like, okay, like, what are you going to do with that? Like, I feel like his form is terrible. And it's like, oh my gosh. He's like, it's almost like he's going to split his own head. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? This is another thing. This is something we don't have time for. We ain't got time, as my dude said in a few of the readings, at least some of the readings for the monthlies I saw. And by my dude, I'm referring to Chad Tarot. Go check out Chad Tarot if you don't know about Chad Tarot, CHAD space TAROT. If you like him, subscribe. I was going to say resonate. If you like him, subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that fun stuff. He's a great guy. We ain't got time for pages no more. And we don't have time to be stuck no more. And if something needed to be cut, we Queen of Swords it. We Queen of Swords. It ain't no Page of Swords like, you know, you whack and you miss, you whack and you miss, you whack and you miss. We're being direct. We're being direct. Pages are done. No more pages. Oof. Yes. So let's say you've stuck with me up until now. You are rebuilding a foundation. You're building a new foundation. Maybe, perhaps, like you have 3 of the wands for the foundation, and you're making sure that the wood that you have is of good quality and it's of excellent tensile strength or whatever you need it to be for. Before you go find a matching wand. And while you're searching for the rest of your foundation, if you happen to find a wand that gives you 4 wands, that's great. And we're manifesting from this new space. We are manifesting this new space, and we're manifesting from this new space. We're doing both at the same time. We are creating and building as we go. We're doing it all as we go, because this is the space that we're in. This is that internal space. This is that internal trust that we needed to have. As the vision comes, we build it. And it's almost like you can close your eyes and you know what you're building, and your hands are just moving. And you know by where your hands are moving and by what you feel in your hands and by where you place it that you have the right thing. Because the more you build it up, the more it grows and expands in your mind. And then by the time you're done, you're like, wow, it's a masterpiece, right? So we're building this foundation, and we're building from this foundation. We're taking a break. We're sleeping on anything that is spilled, that ain't upright. We're sleeping on this energy. So this is the sleeping right. We're sleeping on this energy, and we're sleeping on this energy. We're sleeping on both of these. We sleeping on heartache. We sleeping on people who are going to slow us down, who aren't pouring into themselves, and we're sleeping on not cutting those people out. And then what we are doing is we're being victorious. If you followed this far, you will get that wreath. You will be victorious. All of the stuff that we've done until now, we continue to do. That's why this Three of Wands is here. Everything that we've done to get to this point, we continue to do it, and we evolve it, and we take it forward, and we do more. Like, if there's a lesson that you learned already, like, we're not going back and repeating lessons, hopefully. Like, if you do, like, I can't even say there's always a way out now, because if you planted bad seeds, you're gonna get bad fruit, because that's how it works. That's just how it work. That's just how it work. That's just how that work. That's just how that work. That's just how that work. Work. Okay. So you're gonna be victorious if you do what you're supposed to be doing, which is nice. We ain't got time to repeat lessons. Yes. You know why we don't have time to repeat lessons? Because we Queens of Pentacles now. Because we know our worth. This goes back to the Beyonce card, right? Follow the Beyonce brick road. You think Beyonce has time while she's being Beyonce for people who don't recognize and realize that Beyonce is Beyonce? And this ain't to say that Beyonce got a big head, but Beyonce knows that she's Beyonce. And you know what Beyonce don't got time for? This. She honestly doesn't. Beyonce doesn't have time for pages. We ain't got time for pages either. Not in 2020, not moving forward, because we learned that lesson. And we know that pages spell disaster. Final card. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. If you've been following along with me, you know what this card means to me. And it's interesting because the Six of Cups was in the same stack. Because this is from the Wheel of the Year stack. And the Six of Cups was also in this stack. So the Six of Cups and the Six of Pentacles were in the same stack. But moving forward, this is about giving to those who give back. Right? And it's also about realizing and recognizing that not everyone gives back in the same way. So it's not necessarily like I've given you more pentacles than you've given me, because if you give someone 3 pentacles but they give you 2 pentacles in a full cup, you got 2 pentacles in a full cup, right? This is knowing everything. If someone gives you some type of clarity and they're there for you, like, emotionally, and all you give someone is being there for them emotionally, then it's like it balances out more than you know. It's like, this is like also know the conversion rate between things, but it's also the card, it's reaffirming while we're in our, like, knowing our self-worth. The Queen of Wands knows her worth. While we are in our self-worth, it's like we give to those who give to us in an equal measure. And you also understand that sometimes, like, there are going to be times when we give more to some people, but then they in turn give more to us, right? It's keeping this all in mind. This is a balanced ledger. So show some grace, because this card is also about giving without the expectation of getting anything in return. So it's like sort of 2 energies in one. We're giving not to get, but then we in turn receive. And we give and receive without reservation and without hesitation, because that's what we do for each other. And so that's another way to know, like, and it's the Six of Pentacles came out under the Five of Cups. If the cup is upside down, pass them. If they're not pouring into you after you pour into them, pass them. I think it's also for us to be a little bit more intent and focused on making sure that these 2 wands that we're leaving behind, like, making sure they stay strong, making sure they're not going to be stolen. Because while we go out to look for the 4th wand to complete this foundation, if our foundation at home is rotting, then you come back with 1 wand, but now you got to find 2 more because you had termites and you didn't check before you left. So it's this balance between all of it. And I think this is also going to be, since this is the 6 of, I was thinking the 6 is good in every single suit. It's one of the few cards that's good in every single suit. Six of Swords, moving on to calmer water. Six of Pentacles, equal give and take, reciprocity. Six of Cups is like childhood bliss and memory and nostalgia. Now, any of these can tip into the like giving too much, not receiving enough, being too focused on the past. But then the Six of Wands right here is the card of victory. So yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. I've been on here for a minute. I don't know how long, but that was fun. That was really fun. And yeah, that's what I got. I don't know if there's necessarily any more, but it was really fun. It was really great. I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your days. That was fun. Love you all. Thank you, Clorinda. I kind of don't want to go yet. What time is it? Let's see. It's 6:25. I'll give myself 5 more minutes. So, let's do lightning round. Clorinda, I see you speaking. Here's a card. Queen of Cups. Know that self-worth, girl. Also, don't settle for anyone who isn't open to who you are spiritually, because you don't have time to hide who you are. Also, karma. Complete those cycles. Get yourself, break those habits and those patterns of stalling and wanting someone to give you more cups than anyone could ever give you, because the maximum amount of cups that anyone can bring to a relationship is 5. And anything lacking beyond that is from you. Now, if they're not bringing 5 cups, then that's one thing. But if they are, then hey. So yeah. Miyoshi, I believe you still in here. I'll pull you 2 last. Oh, BRB phone call. I forgot you ain't come back yet. But here's 2. 6 of Swords, moving on to calmer waters. It's putting all of that stuff from the past behind you. And what is this? Queen of Swords. 6 of Swords and Queen of Swords. That's 7 swords. Instead of stealing stuff, that's you taking back what is yours and you moving on. Take it back. Move it on. Chad, I think you might still be on a call too. But you were in here. So I'm going to pull you 2 cards. You're going to get this card, which is the Empress. Okay. You said you needed to hear to be every queen. Okay, so be every queen. There's your confirmation again. Be every queen. Be all queens. Because you are giving birth to the world that you're going to be living in. And it's going to be a beautiful world, I believe. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Have a little patience if you want somebody who a little slow. Just a little patience. But also, I think this is tend to the things that you are planting and tend to the things that you are growing, and maybe slow down a little bit to tend to it, but to build the earth beneath your feet. Because I know that there are a lot of times where you just go, but what you don't want to happen is like you're running and there's no more ground under your feet, and then you like plummet, right? And last but not least is me. First card for me is the King of Wands. It's okay to be a little fiery and to be a little passionate. And this is Leo energy. It's okay to know who you are and to be confident in who you are. And confidence does not always equal cocky. Confidence does not always equal pride. So have a little more pride in who you are. And lastly, I'll take this one. There's the Page of Cups. Oof, I said I wasn't going to be doing this. But maybe this is to like... to not be so... No, I ain't got time for pages. We leveling this up, which is exactly what I was going to say. It's a bit like to not be so quick to pour into others too much. To make sure you're pouring into yourself so that you can become this king and work on your passions. To not douse your own fire by not giving it enough oxygen. Because oxygen, air is a fluid, and fire is needed to like You know, pour into yourself a little bit. You're not really great at pouring into yourself. So do that. Do better. And that's all I got. Thank you, Corinda, Chad, Miyoshi, to a cut from the bottom of the deck for coming. Zelda, thank you also for coming. I am going to hot link to the end of this just in case somebody wants to see it. I don't know. If you don't see it, it ain't my problem. I said the message. At the bottom of the deck now is the Page of Pentacles. Let's all build beautiful worlds for ourselves. Top of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. From the page to the Knight, we are already on our way to leveling up. Only a few more steps until we're Kings and Queens of Pentacles. And I will catch y'all later. Thank you again for coming. I enjoyed my time, and I'm going to shut this one down super quick.